All right, good morning, my neighbors. Welcome to another episode of BYTTT. Still having a little bit of camera issues, but that's okay because you're here for the information, not my most amazing, handsome GQ level face. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you have not signed up for my one-on-one, my free one-on-one for the month of January, it is still open. It'll be open all month. You can go ahead and still sign up. Click the link tree down below. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. So let's go ahead and get right to it. This is very interesting what's happening with NQ, especially after the news report. I thought with the jobs report we're just going to go ahead and start falling, and that did not happen. We got imbalances and fair value gaps that's holding us up, and it's just continuing. Let's go over to the dollar. Look at the dollar. The dollar is even doing the same thing. There is something very interesting that's going to happen with the market, and it could be that the dollar just completely cascades all the way back down into the 200 EMA, and that'll be perfectly fine because then we'll get a proper rally over here on NQ and probably even test for some new highs. We got ourselves on a daily a couple areas of interest, like around this area here before we go ahead and go after this wick. I do think that the market wanted to stay under 21,000, but they just did not have enough strength to stay down there. So that's why we're pushing up like this level. But we do have a couple of things that I find interesting. We got this here. That's our angle here. We kind of hit the brakes on. And then you have this micro trend, which is this 1, 2, 3 kind of punch that is wedging against it. Depending on how this reacts is the one that's going to determine our direction for next week, especially going into what we already did with earnings season, and banks already did really good. Maybe that is why we're kind of doing a little bit push to that upside. Another thing, if you haven't been on my floor, I'm telling you, we make things very simple. We do opening range breakouts. So what I want to do right now is take a nice little breakdown of what happened yesterday and how I was able to I had a new eval that I just signed up for. I ended up getting like about $1,000 in that eval. I want to break down how I kind of saw it and make it make sense for y'all as well. So let's go ahead and get into this 15-minute. And yesterday's 15-minute, again, we were coming from a very, when I say very strong CPI, that was a very strong CPI candle. And I'm not saying the data itself was it, but as far as the implementation of what level we were on, they were not giving it back. This thing was holding. So I think we're standing on top of those shoulders right now, and that's why we're getting this push. But when 930 hit, this candle here, that was their attempt to try to go ahead and liquidate some of the bulls, and they could not get any control. So we got a high here and we got a low here, and that was our bullish area right around here, and this was our bearish area. Again, this is nothing, this is not a secret. This is how some traders trade. I know a lot of popular traders that still does opening range breakouts, but this is a nice systematic way. If you don't have a strategy, at least try this out so that way you can be able to take your trades, right? So when we kind of got into this area and we broke out, the first thing it broke out and broke all the way up about 300 ticks to that upside. There was a little bit of pullback, but either way, that was still 300 ticks. It did reverse back inside of it, but when we broke right back out at 12 o'clock, it kind of consolidated, but we just kept on going and just, it was kind of like, I don't know if y'all remember Price is Right. They kind of do the mountain climb, and then like they do yodels, like do. It was not going nowhere. So if you bought the wrong option contract, it would have just ate up all your theta, and you probably would have break even by the time we got to those new highs, which was roughly around here. So it's very important that you pick the right contract and you have proper discipline, because if you did not, you would have been very upset as soon as you got to this point, but like, oh my God, that's all it gave? Because by the time the time factor kicked in, it was almost the end of the day. All right, so just keep that in mind when you're doing trades, especially coming off the opening range breakout. Nice break above here, pushed up to here, it probably pulled back to your stop loss. Okay, cool, take it. If it brought you profits and you was okay with the profits, and it's getting a little too deep, you want to give all of it away, that's okay too. You want to take a second shot, but we got into this consolidation and you see it drifting in price and it's like not going nowhere, lock in your profits with a stop loss. This is all these actions that you need to be more concentrated on, so that way you can have disciplined trading. All right, I want to break this down from a QQQ standpoint for my option traders. so you can get the same sense. Again, nothing special, same technique overall. So we take the first 15 minutes, that was at 9:30. So we got ourselves this and this. We were bullish above here, and we were bearish below here, right? So when we got to this level, again, same type of action. This move happening in 45 minutes was about $2 a move. So you're talking about if you bought something that was $1 or maybe one deviation, maybe two deviations out of the money, you would have been in the money by the time it hit that peak. Now this one here, that same action, but this was a $4 move. Yeah, you probably would have been in the money, but the premium between the time was probably much more valuable. So same technique, and you could do this for almost any ticker. Let's go ahead and go with Tesla, because we kind of talked about Tesla yesterday, and it was doing some of the same things that NQ and QQQ and all of them were doing. Same thing. We're going to be bullish above this level. We're going to be bearish above this level. For color context, let's go ahead and update that. Boom and boom, right? Look at that. You're talking about Tesla with a nice little pop above here. You're talking about a $3 move on Tesla. I don't know if y'all ever played Tesla, but this is a massive move for Tesla. $3 move up here, probably even more, depending on your entry, maybe $4 to $7. That's a good solid move there. And then this extension here. Now, Tesla's a little bit different than Q's. It made a $14 drift to the upside. Now, that would have been deeper into the money. What does that mean, Jeff? Deeper into the money. Well, deeper into the money, now you're no longer worrying about the time factor. By the time you break your level, and it's, let's say you got a strike price at 117. Oh, sorry, 417. Because we got into 422, now you have intrinsic value. So you're going to get, and remember, you're managing 100 shares of a particular ticker, right? So now the intrinsic value is the difference between here and here. So it's roughly about $4. So this could be a $400 move by itself, because the contract is more deviations into the money, and the time factor, it doesn't matter what happened with the time. Let the premium buy out, because at the end of the day, if it keeps on drifting up, you're going to get whatever is in that intrinsic value. All right, kind of give you that idea. So this just tells you we could do this on any ticker. It doesn't matter where it is. Opening range breakout, if you are struggling or whatever the case may be, and you feel like you want to get a nice little strategy, try it out. I'm telling you, it's fun. Here's oil. I'm going to do the same thing, and this will be our last example, and then we'll go into my volume list and see what's going on over there. So we got ourselves 930 right here. You got a nice little level right here, bang. You got a nice level here, bang. And then we'll go through our context. Bearish here, bullish here. It's great. It kind of pulled back into here, but again, if you've traded oil before, this was a 50-cent move at $10. It takes, so you're talking about $520. If you do micros, that's $52. And then when it found that base here again, it just went completely nuts, and it took off to 194. That's like $2,000 of a move to $200 a move if you do micros. Very, very interesting to just see this opening range breakout continue to play on over and over. All right, so what we got? We got like 30 minutes until the market opens. Let's go ahead and check the news. Let's see if there's anything that we need to concern ourselves coming into the market. That's the wrong one. There you are. All right, so we got a few mediums, some retail for X autos inventories. This thing can have some effect, not as much as retail sales up here and jobless claims, but it still has an effect. We got mortgage rates coming out. The Fed balance sheet, this could kind of throw the market going into Friday. So not too much. We might have a smooth market since we don't have a lot of things that we're going to be covering from a news standpoint. So let's go ahead and find some very, very fun tickers to kind of check out. Let's go with my volume list. Waste management, we already did that for my other crew. All right, let's see. Southern Company is still up here, but it only moved like 0.35 cents, so we'll ignore that. let's go with Lowe's. Or did United Rentals. See something with High Bolton. So with Lowe's. Coca-Cola for investors. Oh, Heiko, I haven't seen you in a long time. I used to have this company, but they stopped paying dividends, so I got rid of them. And they never brought back the dividends. I want three. So I said Lowe's. Coca-Cola for my dividend players. Lowe's. Accenture. Let's just do Accenture because Accenture is on top of my list right here. Large market cap, high amount of volume here. Yeah, so Accenture, Lowe's, and Coca-Cola. Let's do this. Let's start off with Coca-Cola. The reason why is because I like to talk about dividend plays and everything. Dividend plays, you want to kind of look at these as longer term holds because you're going to play with the dividend. And this thing is building a base right here in this level. What was previous resistance? Right around here. Turns into current support. And I think that's why we got this nice little pop that came back to test. If this holds the way I think it is, we might get a 2 candle uptrend right here on the weekly. Come on, behave. All right, and we're probably going to ride this trend as we try to attack this trend. Might consolidate a little bit, but again, you're going to buy the shares or you're going to get some longer term option contracts because you're looking to just hold on to this with the anticipation that you're going to go ahead and keep this. This is more of an investment move. They do pay dividends. It's 48 cents. Not great, but it's one of those companies you can almost bet your bottom dollar that it's not going to go out of business and turn into Bed Bath & Beyond or GameStop anytime soon. So you're going to pay a little bit of a premium for that. So I would say this could be a nice solid entry with maybe a stop loss somewhere around the 200, maybe even around $58. And when I mean stop loss, it's probably more like, hey, maybe get a little bit more if this thing can start to cross over. But right now it's in a very key area in the weekly. And then if we look at the daily is trying to get out of here and it's doing a bullish divergence. Let me point it out for y'all. If you don't know what bullish divergences are, you got lower lows happening here, right? But then on the MACD, we got, come on, behave. Get out of my way. Right? We're making higher lows over here. So this is telling me that this whole entire thing is possibly an accumulation phase. So Coca-Cola could be a nice solid start of an investment if you don't have any. And if you were already in and you shave some of your profits here and you were looking for a spot to get some back, this could be a good area here. Love where Coca-Cola is sitting right now. All right, so let's see. We got Coca-Cola, Accenture. Accenture, they have a publication. That's how I kind of know them a little bit. I know this name, but they're in the tech space. Let me go ahead and grab that data. So, Healthwell Business is going to build their digital core, optimize operation, accelerate revenue growth, enhance citizen services, creating tangible value at speed and scale. So they use a lot of tech, including, of course, where everybody's running into it, AI. So I kind of like this ticker for the most part. I didn't know they were an international company. They're in Ireland, right? But yeah, so this is a very, very solid company. You can kind of see with the chart, they've been just going up, and now we're in this like sideways consolidation. I think we're starting to build some of those bases. This looks like, we kind of failed that one. Kind of looked like a cup and handle that failed when we got into these lower lows in 2024. And now we're kind of doing this like M pattern. Very interesting. Are they trying to catch it? Let me see. The volume yesterday was 2.6. And I'm basing this on the daily. Very interesting spot for it. Because while I'm saying that, I'm going to come up to like a monthly chart. Let's look at a monthly chart. On the monthly chart, you can kind of see this is nice, solid. We're still on the bullish side. Stay on that side of the coin and you should be fine. And what's happening here is we created a bit of an uptrend from here to here, and then we got our deviations here, and it looked like our last deviation was right at the base of this one here. And when we kind of broke down, we haven't really made any higher highs, and we haven't made any real lower lows, so we get in this wedging action, right? And I think why we get in this wedging action is because of that supposed cup and handle that failed, and they're like, no, we really want this to continue to the upside. So even though this cup and handle failed, we're going to go ahead and tighten up. So I think the reaccumulation is happening inside of this sideways consolidation. We might do this for a long period of time. I don't know when it's going to end, but it's probably going to build up that base in that same regard. I would say if anything below the 50 EMA on the monthly would be probably a problem, and we'll hold that. Let's see what the weekly looks like. Weekly looks like it's not ready for any push to the upside, but I love what this share accumulation that's happening here. And it could be distribution too, because it's just volume. You won't know which is which. We're making these wick actions, even though the candle closed a little bullish on this weekly. Oh no, we got one more day. Let's see what the daily was. It's another one of those. After CPI, we did that gap up. We finished red. Yeah, it's not ready, but it looks like they were trying to get this move to happen. So we can see if this microtrend moves and holds, and then they can get rid of this action here. Very tight. That was that. We made lower lows here, so that's tight. So here, that made lower lows until it stopped making lower lows here, about right here. So we just kind of consolidated sideways here with a nice little pop-up, but they didn't let it go through the gap. So yeah, this is going to be very interesting. I would say, you know what, let me put this in my green list. I can keep an eye on it. All right, and then I got Lowe's. What I'm going to do with Lowe's, we're going to probably go over Lowe's and Home Depot because they kind of run hand in hand, and we might get a better opportunity on one side than the other. Another one gapped up for CPI but finished red. Might test this gap. Look like a bear flag that just failed. Let me see if did we get past 50%. Let's see if that's the case. No, we didn't get past 50%, so this could really just continue to come back down. So this is going to be very interesting here. So I would say maybe a test to this trend line, being the fact that the daily is below the zero line. Yeah, generally bullish, but the daily is below the zero line. So this could be a nice little start. Maybe get a reset. If it doesn't break this during the reset of this trend line, of this stochastic, maybe we could get another push and drag this right through. What I mean, let's see if we can find a situation very similar to that. All right, like something like this. We got a stochastic that's in that upper register right here. As long as it doesn't break that trend line right about really here, it is really here, but we broke it here. That's what caused this whole entire cascading effect into here. And then we got another one came through here, and we're starting to open. We're trying to drag it through the zero line over here. So that means whatever action here, we need an uptrend, and it needs to hold up into here, and then you can see it kind of dragged. We had another deviation of that uptrend right about here, and when we got to this upper register, as they're trying to reset this, it dragged down, and then that caused that. So that's how you can kind of look at how the stochastic, I use a Stoch RSI for smoothness, but if you use a stochastic, this is a one way you could kind of like analyze and make sure that you're on the right side of the coin. So I'm looking at this as a potential, but when this resets, when this stock comes back down here, it better not break this trend line. Probably dividends is probably going to break it. So keep an eye on dividend date and also that. All right, so that looks good. What else we got? You got any tickers, anything that y'all want to cover? By all means, you can go ahead and chime in. That will be very fun. If not, I'll just go through the rest of my list. Got quite a few of them. All right. Let's go with my green list. Let's go here. Oh, actually, I did unload this green list. Let's make a new one. Let's grab my screener. Not this screen. I need my other screener. You know what? I don't mind showing y'all this. Let's do stock screener. Oh, actually, pause. I'm a little bit upset at myself because I saw something on XRP. If you trade crypto, this is going to be for you. I kind of invest in crypto. I don't like trading it. And I saw something on XRP and I was talking to a real good friend of mine and it was setting up for something and I forgot to get it. I forgot to go get it. So I'll kind of give y'all a little bit of some summary of everything here. Nice little downtrend here, but it looks like a bull flag breakout. I saw this on yesterday. I think it was about right here. So let's just call it this. So it was building this, and then on Wednesday, today's Thursday, on Tuesday, it was starting to build this up. So actually, I saw this from here and was building this candle. And what I started to realize, I was like, well, this is a big accumulation phase. To be honest, this whole entire thing looks like they're building an order block right around here. So I was going to go ahead and take a shot of like, as long as it doesn't break $200, not $200, but $2, I was going to take this upside. I love breakouts. I'm more of a breakout trader than anything else. I probably would have taken a trade here. If I felt real confident of it, I probably would have taken a breakout here and here, and I probably would have been inside of here. So you could kind of see this was a nice little curl up on XRP, and with a measured move of bull flags. So we're talking about this whole entire move from here to here. I like to use the fib for this. Let me grab the fib first. So from this level to probably this spot, this level, let's go ahead and grab that. Put this on top of the breakout. About right here. So I'm thinking we're probably going to finish about $4. If it gets very aggressive, probably about here at 467, maybe. But this thing can hit $5 if this is going to hold and not take out any people from down here. Another thing that I find very interesting is because even though I missed it, it put in a fair value gap. I love being in something that already holds a fair value gap. It lets me put my stop loss like around this area. So really, really good move, really, really strong move on XRP. And then you got to cross-reference. You got to go look at their indice, which is basically Bitcoin. If we look at Bitcoin overall, it's starting to get through, and this is why I really wanted to get into it, and I should have. The MACD is starting to cross this zero line. Ooh, gotta check out Uber. The MACD is already crossing through the zero line. The stochastic is already pointing up. We have this bounce off this 89,000 level, which I feel like all those funds, trusts, and everybody that's been investing to build their portfolio for Bitcoin, they added at that 89,000, and now we're going to go ahead and start to create more highs. We're probably going to get past that 108. I will not be surprised. So if XRP starts to hold that position and people are still investing into Bitcoin, you're probably going to get a nice little explosion, and at the very least test 105, maybe even 110. That's where I see it. Let's go check out Uber because that alert just came in. My alert was crossing 67.64. With this hold, it can get to 75. Let's see what I mean by that. It can get to 75. Okay, I think I kind of see where. So I think I want to see a nice little close above here, maybe 68, 69, unless you feel real comfortable about it. But this looks like that they kind of pulled it back, and now that we kind of spiked this up yesterday, that's our deviation. Before that, it was like this, but that breakdown scares people. But now that we're here, maybe we cut through this zero line with some strength. So let's see if Uber can make this way up. Let's look at a higher time frame. Maybe this is a longer term investment. Nice solid move here, and the week is going to still finish green. Let's see, 49 cents to shareholders. This was 37 cents. So they're anticipating even, 37 cents, but they blasted that with 200% and dropped. Profit taken, reestablishing and putting back their money again. See this monthly. Monthly is bullish. So as long as we don't break below this $60 price, $59.84. Yeah, this Uber could be a longer term play. Let me go from the weekly. Let's do some fun bold predictions. This is when they started really consistently bringing profit, and I think they turned negative and it turned into a profit while this was negative. So let's take this point here. Of course, people knew about it before, hence the reason why this started to move up before the earnings. But I digress. There's no such thing as insider trading. All right, nice little push up here. Probably coming back to this trend line because we haven't tested it really. We had some deviations, kind of following our bump and run style and technique. That's one of those deviations. Looking at this one here, then it broke out again. Then we got this one right here. That's our support. Nice solid bump and run. They bought it back up at this level, came back down, broke through, almost got here. So yeah, I would say, I would love for it not to come down here again. What day? This is August. This is August 5th too. Where they were buying everything and anything after that drop when CrowdStrike had that major debacle. Uber to $90. $90 somewhere in March. Let's do something fun. $90 Uber, March 2025. If this stochastic and MACD continues on this weekly the way it is, and with the daily being at this lower level that can blast right through, of course this can reset, but as long as it doesn't break trends during the reset, just like lows, we probably could drag this right on through. Quick example. Here it is. Cracking through that zero line. Cracking through that zero line. It did reset here, but that reset broke down this deviation. Let me go ahead and, there it is. Broke down this deviation here. Micro trend turns into a major trend right about here. And that was that move. August 5th, pop up, boom, break through, test it again, and got higher highs. That's how that goes. Oh yeah, Uber looks nice. What it do, Rod? How you doing? Welcome. I appreciate you. Yeah, I might have to pull the trigger on this one. This gonna be. Let me see if I can find a good. Yeah, to be safe, $69. To be aggressive, maybe a little after the open, with maybe a hold here, and a good stop maybe down here at 64 if you're getting aggressive. All right, no problem, Lee. You know what I'm saying? Like Yeah, I'm gonna go with Uber. I think that as much as, if anyone knows, I'm not a fan of the company, but I gotta go ahead. If the money's there, I gotta go make that money. All right, let's go ahead and get ourselves set up for NQ. Let's see what's going on over on that side of the coin. All right, boom. Close this out. We'll bring that back a little bit later. Like I said, this is the wedge that we're looking for on how we're going to go ahead and break this bad boy out. and see if we can make some money. Oh, what I should do is put Uber in. I think I do have it. Do I have it in my red list? Yeah, I do have it in my red list. All right, I gotta remember to go see what the options. Actually, let me go look at the options now. I might be pulling this trigger. I don't know if I want to do March. I would love to do June. There is a lot of open interest over there in that June, especially that $100 level.
Yeah.
$90 June probably is the way to go. I think that's part of the game. $90 June, if you can swing that. If you can get to right now it says $1.49. It's probably going to be around $2 or less when the open happens. And if you can do it that way, if you cannot, I would say maybe March. Oh, that March $80 got so damn. Oh, I wish I seen this a little sooner. Let's go with, yeah, March 90 is 38 cents. Now, why I don't like the March 90 is because whatever leg gets played here, it's probably going to pull back and then the theta is going to kick in. So we have 64 days. Do not hold it for more than 2 weeks. That if it gets to the money, guaranteed don't hold it over 2 weeks. You might want to start scaling yourself or whatever. But if you want to go ahead and take a little shot at Uber, let's do that 90. All right. Let's go ahead and look at NQ. So NQ right now, let's see if we can find some paper trading practice along the way here. Get ourselves warmed up. Got a nice little solid base here on this 5 minute. I love what's happening here, but we didn't get a nice explosion here. I know they're waiting for volume, but this can really come back against you on the volume, and then they go ahead and take out these wicks and then start to come back down. So I'm not a fan of trying to carry this over the open. Let's see. All right. Let me go ahead and get myself set up, because I'm probably going to carry the Qs also. Let's see. Qs. Where's Qs? Okay. Get that ready. You got like about another 6 minutes till the market opens. Get that set. Alright, cool. What I would like to see is this 15 minute can keep on stacking it and curling this bad boy up. So let's come over. I love coming down to the 1 minute a little bit. See if we can get a nice little reset here. 5 minutes already back up here, and we're probably going to drag that 5 minute right through. Nice little fair value gap that we could be filling here. And we got another one up here. And there's a new 5 minute now. See if we can get a nice little reset. Like I said, this is just warm up, and I'm more than likely just going to close this out when the open happens. Yeah, I like the 15 going up this way. 45 minutes already bullish. This should be bullish. This should be bullish. Come on, 4 hour. There we go. Ooh, fresh bullish too. Nice little curl of the daily. Come on, stochastic, where are you? Oh yeah, thinking bullish, thinking real bullish. Especially that the non-farm payrolls did not do anything in particular to knock the bulls out. Let's get this cranking. My phone. So I'm fully set up. If you haven't logged in, log in. Let's see if we can get a curl before, but I don't think we're gonna get that before the market opens. They're really pushing this. Let me see if there's any other areas. Let me go back to the 45-minute and look at the market dominance. Let's see if there's anything there. We were supposed to be bearish in all of these, but this could have been just all that bearish move here. That's all they have, which is okay. Got ourselves about 2 minutes and 30 seconds till the market opens. Let me lower my leverage. That way I'm prepared in case I see something. I really like this possible breakout. We just been stair stepping all the smaller time frames this whole entire time. These bears here, let me use some circles. These bears here are probably annoyed. These bears here are probably annoyed. And definitely, if anybody had some puts all the way down here and they didn't take it from here, here, or here, they're pissed. Because they were thinking this thing is going to just dump all the way. So very, very interesting spots for all those bearish trends. So it kind of gives you this type of action. If you trade in channels, I give y'all props. I hate ranges. I'm such a breakout trader. But something like that, maybe even wider, but I like this one because it connects a little bit more. This is the channel that we're in, and they're attempting to break out of that channel to that upside and probably pivot this whole entire thing. Yeah, I saw that. Yes. Oh my God. Like, because the way gold was moving, I was like, yo, they're not letting it, just like the scoop, right? They were just not letting it go any lower. So I kind of created these bump and runs right here, and this is now starting to look like a W right here. So I'm thinking they're going to try to test that 2800, but I'm very curious on how this happens. And I don't know if you remember, I said just chart silver, don't trade it. Silver breaks out of this, man, gold's gonna go right through it. Boom, right with them. And so this is gonna be very interesting because this even looks kind of pennant like. Got a nice little pull. It did get past the 50%, but this is a nice little drift up the whole entire time with a little bit of consolidation. So I'm very curious on what ends up happening there. Yes, I do see that pennant. I really do. All right, got ourselves 8 seconds till the market opens. Let's see what happens. Here comes the true action. Oh, barely. Let's come down to the 15-minute. I thought we were gonna get some type of like spike, but I think everybody's like, all right, which one's gonna blink first? Okay, interesting. No real movement. All right, so I'm gonna go do some charting, since this wanna make things interesting. Let's start with here. My zoom's in the way. So I'm looking at staying bullish above 392. It was an overnight level that I saw. Um, Let me mark it off here for y'all. So I'm bullish around this area. It was a level that I saw how we kind of transition here, and we were trying to drop back down, and I thought overnight we was going to go ahead and capture that CPI candle, and we did not. So as long as we stay above here, we're probably going to be pushing back up, and I think that's what they're building their case on. In the top side, where we probably could have some trouble, it could be here, or maybe a little higher. Let's see. Yeah, probably a little higher. So I think the true sellers exist somewhere around that 21,525. So if you kind of see that 525 level is very much in line with that wedging action that we saw on the daily. So something like around here. So if we come over here to the daily, you'll see these are the two areas I'm very, very curious about. Now, if we get through that 525, all that overnight bearish, roughly around 2 o'clock in the morning, we're probably going to liquidate them, and then we're going to push to that upside. So I would like to stay bullish, especially with the daily looking very bullish, but stay frosty. Don't do nothing crazy. Especially this order block right here. There's another one I'm kind of curious about right there. After we gave the news, they just held that area. There we go. First thing they tested. Good drop, good solid drop. Now they got one of the wicks. Let's see if they get the other two, and then we probably could get into this fair value gap. Might scalp something fun, but for the most part, you already know how we play here. The first thing we like to do is look for our opening range breakout. So the first one is right here. This one we would be bullish above this area, and right now it looks like we're probably going to be down here somewhere. We're going to be bearish below this one here. Oops, that's not what I tried to do. I clicked the wrong one, that's why. Alright, and we're going to be bearish around here, but it's still dropping. Coming for the fair value gap. If you want to scalp this probably will be a good scalp as it's going through that fair value gap. Just make sure your stop is tight. Looking like the 15 minutes opening up to that downside, basically trapping the bulls that were here, here, and here. I gotta refine. I gotta get back to my my fun strategy. I called this the Pac-Man got 'em. Like they just, just like the little dots, and they hit every one of those stop losses, and then they just grabbed them. With this momentum can be strong enough that brings us all the way back to that 392 level that I'm very curious about, and it could be a bounce area too. We did not grab that fair value gap. I thought we were going to hold that there. That's why it's very important. If you're going to scalp, tight stops. If you're going to wait for the opening range breakout, perfect reason why to wait. We got about 9 minutes until this candle closes. Let's go ahead and check out some of the stuff that I was looking at. So like, for example, Uber. What are they doing? Are they holding that area that I was looking at? What level I said? It was 67, 64. It looks like it's holding that. We're at 67.86. Let me grab my Thinkorswim. Let's see how that ages. Not January. We're talking about March. So that March one jumped up to like about 41 cents. So that one looks a little solid. Let's see what else we got here. Then we got ourselves June. The June 90s did stay under $2. That's all I was looking at. Very interesting. We'll see how that goes. So the whole purpose of this, how we had this whole conversation, is that they're kind of trying to break out and continue in this upward trajectory. I dipped a toe for the most part, but I really want to see this above $69 before I really take this anything serious. So I'm okay with what I'm possibly going to lose if this thing reverses all the way down into not holding over around $64. So it looks good. I want to check that out and see what happens. Let's get back over to NQ. Still falling. Let's see. Almost got back under that block again. That's a lot of momentum there. They're gonna have to buy up all that dip. Are they strong enough? And like I said, I like the daily on NQ. That's the only reason why I'm considering any upside. And that MACD crosses up, we could stand right on top of this shoulder, that CPI, and just really put some pressure on that upside. But unless it follows those rules, I have no business in it to that upside. So for those scalping to the downside, maybe you're enjoying some more profits. Congratulations. If not, we're still waiting for our 15-minute opening range. For those that's used to my show, normally I start this around 9:15 and kind of spill over past 10:15. But my schedule's kind of changed a little bit, so I do have a hard stop at 9:45. I might spill over a minute or so just to explain. But you will have the opening range breakout set up for NQ, so that way you can be able to take your position and continue from that. And like I said, yesterday, the last opening range breakout we did, that one really did its job, and it did it really well. So just stick with the strategy, follow your stop loss, follow your plan, don't do nothing reckless, and the byproduct is the money. The more disciplined you are, the more money you make. Oh, I should put that on a t-shirt. All right, so we're getting a little bit of a bounce, and I think the bounce we're getting is because they know for a fact they can't get below that 392 level. Let me come back over to the Qs and my Thinkorswim because I may take something there. And let me see if there's anything I would be curious about here. Very choppy. I am very choppy a little bit inside of here. If you think of this 15-minute, if you were bullish, everything was great until you got liquidated, and if you was bearish, they're pulling it right back up, and you're going against the current of the daily. So that's why I said if you're scalping, that's different. If you're quick enough, but that daily is bullish. All right, we got 4 minutes and 41 seconds, and they're starting to really take control of this candle. Unless the bears come back and smack this thing right back down, this thing is probably going to continue to that upside. Let's go ahead and look at it at a 5-minute. Yeah, you see that? Nice little tweezer bottom on the 5-minute. Take on some of that sell off of that consolidation. maybe break above this 50 EMA, drag the 5 minute to get through the MACD. These are the things that you want to kind of get those confluences and be like, well, I'm in because of that. Or now this is doing that, so I'm just going to stay in because I'm looking for it to continue. These are the things you want to see. So a nice little 50 EMA break and hold. This thing can turn bullish. Nice stair step here too. Yeah, the seller's like, no, hold the door. Push him back. Let's go over to gold. Rod was looking at a pennant. Same thing. I would do a nice little opening range breakout of this as well. Where's my 15 minute? I'm in the wrong time frame. You got that. You got that. You got bullish above here. Bearish above there. Below there. And it looked like it wants to take that thing out. And then when you come over to the daily, we're crossing that. We already crossed that zero line. Gold might be the play. Might be the play. We'll just wait for the confluence and support. All right, we got 2 minutes until it's all said and done. Let me see what is coming in with high volume. Oh my God, waste management is still in this list. It's coming in with volume. Here is waste management, so y'all can kind of get an idea. Look like they're gonna try to recapture this. Waste management above 209. That would be a sound little trade because you can anticipate it trying to break out of here and then go into that 210, maybe even 212 area. Like what it's doing here. What's another one? URI, United Rentals. Good company. Like I said, more of an investment than anything because they give $1.63 with fractional shares. I think this could be a nice little company because there's always construction. They do well. Of course, they're in the middle of a little bit of a pullback, but can it recapture any of its greatness and get back to that upper register? It is in a bearish state here, but again, you want to buy time on this one. That way, if this curls up this zero line here, probably going to take off. All right, let's go back over to NQ. What are you doing over there in NQ? Are you starting to stay bullish or are you starting to... Oh, they're back. They smacked it back down. They smacked it back down. Okay. Made it even lower than that. Let's lock that in because we have 50 seconds. And made a lower low. You don't want to see that. You're below the order block, which I'm thinking in 40 seconds we're going to stay under this order block. So that's going to destroy that. It's going to turn it from bullish to from bullish to bearish. Lots of liquidity is here. Lots. So I know the momentum is somewhere in there. So the bear's going to get control. It's got to be below here. 5 minutes is under the zero line. So this can get dragged right through. Let me see oil real quick. Yeah. I don't know what happened with that contract expiration. That bad boy pulled back something vicious over at oil. Oh. Can I change this again? It's supposed to be oil. Yeah, nice little push under here. And it kind of gapped down after that contract expiration. Very interesting there. All right, let's get back over to NQ. Get our 15 minutes. So we already got our 15 minute. So now what we want to get is a 5 minute close below. I know you probably want to jump the gun right now and get in now. I'll say this: you want confirmations. It's going to make your life so much easier on that. Yes, can we get this Horntie fair value gap? If you want to do like a momentum play, like I said, this 392 should be a toughie. It should be a toughie, especially coming to the psychological 400 level. But if you can get a little bit of momentum, we'll take out this fair value gap. It drags the 5-minute MACD into the zero line. That could be the play, but it's probably for a short time, not a long time. Yep, there we go. That's the move. I'm staying disciplined for y'all since we're doing on the. Oh, you know what I did? I did promise we're gonna take some live trade. I should have did it with my thesis. I did promise we're gonna take some live trades. Yeah, that's what I'll probably do. I'm going to schedule it out. Like maybe do like Tuesdays analysis, Wednesdays practice, and then Thursdays we'll do some live trades. Maybe I'll do something like that. That'll be pretty dope. You see that 392? That's all I'm saying. See how they jumped that real quick? Especially the fact that we were starting to head inside of this fair value gap at the 5-minute. The bulls don't want to see this fail because this is one of the last line of defenses that they have. But meanwhile, you got this cascading effect that's happening, especially when they got up into this area here on this 5-minute. This is the one that's putting real pressure for it to play to the downside. Yeah, I'll hang out with y'all to 950. Let's see how this pans out. There we go. So that pullback could have been that especially knowing that the 5 minutes pulling back here. The daily is still has bullish potential, even though we're here. So one of these is probably going to catch you. So just make sure you're judicious on your entries and your exits. And there goes that fair value gap. If you did take this trade, you should have been really, really nice right now. Good 40 points from the time we broke out of that block. It's almost like we went from the order block, breaking it down, close below, and you could have used the momentum for the opening range breakout. That could have been the way you got in. But that first instance was that profit taking at 392. We might have enough momentum. No, we don't have no kicks. Might have enough momentum to get inside of the 354. And then that's your psychological bounce. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Tuesdays review, Wednesday practice, and then Thursdays we'll take some live trades. That we'll just have like a routine. Let me see why we would bounce there. Let's see. I don't see a reason why we would bounce there other than some profit taking, and we're coming up to that order block. Oh, I didn't want to do that, but let's do it anyways. Since we're under here, if the bulls don't catch it here, there's a strong possibility we could get to 300 by the end of the day. If not 300, that 354. All right, we got less than 30 seconds. So this is our official opening range breakout. So you want to go ahead and get a close. Depending on how you enter your trades, maybe with a lower time frame, maybe like a 1 minute chart or whatever. Just make sure you're following your thesis and following your discipline. But this could be the beginning of that drop using the opening range breakout. All right, that said, I'm going to go ahead and bid you a fond adieu. Thank you very much for taking the time and jumping in here. It starts again on Tuesday at 8:15. For those that are in my inner circle, the links will be provided and the means that's there. For those that are not and you want to be part of that, just let me know. Just shoot me a DM on Instagram. My link tree is down below. Go ahead and click that. Also, free 101s, they are there. Go ahead and register for that. And I will see y'all in Mindset tomorrow. If you do not have the link or you're not part of some of the communities I partner with, I do suggest that you come to my Mindset class. All of this stuff starts with you. All right. So that said, I appreciate y'all. You have a great day. See y'all on Saturday.